So I think anyone who plays a rank knows that satisfying, that just beautiful feeling when you finally rank up. Because ranking up in Apex, not only is it a bit of a flex when you get to those high ranks, when you're hitting Pred, when you're hitting Masters, but it's also just like a little bit of a sense of accomplishment because you've actually done something in the game. You really haven't. You've earned virtual online points to compare yourself to other people, but you've kind of done something in a way, I guess. But that is way easier said than done. Gaining RP and actually ranking up can be pretty damn difficult, but don't worry, ladies and gentlemen. That is what I am here for today. Because I'm no expert on ranked. I'm not like, the best ranked player out there, #1 Pred every season. But I'd say I'm pretty alright with it. I've been playing ranked since it came out. And this season, I went from Diamond to 190th Pred in like 5 or 6 days. So I think I have a bit of experience behind me, and I wanted to share some of that with you two guys. So I want to give you guys some tips and tricks on how you can rank up as fast as possible in rank, because I know there's so many people out there that just want to gain RP, maybe get those cosmetics or just flex on everything. Look at me, guys. I'm a master. I'm a damn Pred, So without further ado, we'll get straight into those tips. So my very first tip for you guys, and one of the most crucial of this whole video, is to play as a team. I know this might come as a shock for many of you that playing as a team in a team game is the way to be successful. No, but in all seriousness, playing as an efficient and effective team is one of the easiest ways to just win your fights and just overall gain RP, but it's a lot easier said than done. I guarantee basically everyone who's playing ranked isn't dropping in solo being like, yeah, I'm not playing as a team, I don't need a team, I'm doing this by myself. Everyone's going in there with their team and they're trying to work together, but sometimes that just doesn't happen. So I guess I wanted to break this into sub tips or sub categories to help you understand how you can play better as a team. So easily the best way to have an efficient and effective team in Apex is to get an IGL, an in-game leader. If you don't know what this is, it's basically just one person in the team that's gonna be the leader. He's gonna rule everyone. He's gonna tell you guys how to approach fights, how to back out, how you should be going about different scenarios. And the reason this is so important is because it gets everyone on the same page. The worst possible thing for team play in Apex is to have everyone off doing their own thing, thinking their own stuff. You need one person to set how everything is going to flow out. And honestly, you might not agree with your IGL sometimes, but it is so much better to do a slightly dumb play or something that you probably shouldn't do than to have everyone else running off doing their own thing. So establish an in-game leader. Whoever think you'll be the best at leading or just being the guy making the shots, the shot caller, give him the IGL position and just listen to him. Let him kind of coordinate everything in the game. So another really important thing to do is to constantly monitor your teammates, because you and your teammates, you're gonna make some mistakes. We're human, it's gonna happen. But if you're monitoring them, if you're watching them and seeing how they're going or what they're doing, you can eliminate the chance of them making a mistake drastically. I'll give you guys an example. Let's say you're in a fight and you look over and your homeboy is just out in the open, no cover, and he's about to get absolutely beamed by a full team of G7s. You can be like, hey buddy, you're out in the open, you got no cover, come back to me. Or maybe your teammate's just getting absolutely bombarded and he's just pinched behind a rock. You could probably apply pressure to the people shooting him and maybe get him out of there, take the pressure off so he can escape. Or maybe you're like, okay, this guy, if I don't get to him right now, he's about to go down. So you go over, you assist him, let him heal. So then you're back in the fight. You just got to constantly monitor your teammates' positions to make sure that nothing bad is about to happen to them. Because if one teammate goes down in a fight, a lot of the time it's over. 2v3 in ranked, it's gonna be very damn difficult. So just monitor your teammates and see when they're about to make a mistake and critique them on it. And so my third tip or sub tip, I guess, is to play together. And what I mean by this is basically whatever you're doing, so is your teammates. So let's say you're peeking an angle, you know, so is your teammates. If you're shooting at someone, so is your teammates. Because when you do this, you just have 3 times the everything. You know, you have 3 times the firepower. You have 3 times the health. If one person peeks around a corner where they know an enemy is, that's a 1v1 fight. And that is more chance that, you know, they're not going to get a knock and they're going to get knocked. If you peek that angle with the fellas, with one of your teammates or 2 of your teammates, there's less chance that one of them are going to get knocked, more chance that you're going to get a knock on someone. And let's say, you know, something goes bad and out of nowhere, one of your teammates gets knocked. If you're right there by his side doing the exact same thing he's doing, you're basically his bodyguard. You can protect him, you can hold people off while he, you know, crawls to safety. So playing together, just basically mimicking the things that your teammates are doing is really, really, really effective to playing as a good team. So another really important tip for gaining RP is positioning. Focusing on that positioning over basically everything. Positioning is more important than kills because your kills are irrelevant if you don't get good placement points. What I mean by this positioning is basically setting up in zone. You know, I don't know how important this is in the lower lobbies like gold and maybe silver, bronze, but if you're again in the higher, you know, skill level ranked lobbies where the end zone's again pretty small most of the time, you really want to be focusing on positioning and getting the best spot in zone. You know, a lot of people think this is camping, and I guess it is, but if you get the best position in zone, you're gonna win the game. That's what it comes down to, especially in the top tier, you know, the pred ranked. If you have the best position, you're basically guaranteed a win. You have to throw pretty hard not to. So look at the zone, look where it's gonna go, scan beacons, and set up. Get ready for it. Another really important thing to do is to be cautious, be careful with the fights you're taking. You know, you need KP in rank, that's kill points, you know, that's no surprise. But a lot of fights people take in rank just ain't it. In ranked, I think it's no surprise that third parties are way more prominent. And you know, there's gonna be those third parties where they just came out of nowhere. There was literally nothing you could do, but a lot of the time in ranked, I find people dying to third parties when, you know, they really shouldn't be fighting to begin with. Like maybe the circle is really small and there's still a lot of people left. You're basically guaranteed to get third party. So if there's like a lot of people around you, or maybe you just know there's a lot of people in the area and there's a good chance to get third party, try and avoid the fight. And other fights you should really be cautious of and probably just avoid a fight where you're just at a significant disadvantage. You know, maybe there's a whole team on high ground that just have G7s and they're not budging. A lot of times you just gotta 180, walk away and just ignore them. Because even if you try to engage these fights, a lot of times it's just gonna end in a stalemate. You're just gonna waste heals and literally no one's benefited from it. So be careful of the fights you take. Make sure you're not gonna get third parties. Make sure it's not just gonna be a complete resourced waster or you're just gonna get absolutely annihilated. So be cautious, be careful. You know, I really don't like saying, you know, you have to use this gun, you have to use these legends in my tips and tricks videos, but honestly, if you just really want to gain RP, there are some guns and legends that you should really only be sticking to. Now, for the legends, the dream team is this right here: Bloodhound, Wraith, and Revenant. Wraith is just, I think everyone knows how good Wraith can be. Her phase is still really good, and you know, if anything's going south, you could maybe portal, knock teammate to you, or just completely pull out of a fight. Bloodhound, the scans come in so clutch. Like knowing when your enemies are as you're about to pull up is really useful. And just that ult mode, just the speed boost you get, you're so damn hard to hit when you're in that mode. And Revenant's probably the most broken one out of all of them. You can can literally just have a good position and freely push any team you want. Maybe if you get a knock, you go straight over there, and you have basically an extra 50 HP because they do 100 damage to you, and then you come back with 50, and you have a free life, so you can just push like an idiot, not have any regard for your life at all, and get away with it. Gibby and Lifeline could replace any one of those, but I definitely think that if you can get the Wraith, Revenant, and Bloodhound combo unlocked, that is what you should be using. And for guns, just make sure you have a long range gun and a short range gun. Best long range guns, 100% Scout, Hemlock, and the triple take, and then maybe pair that up with a Volt or a Prowler. Or if you are a bit more skilled player and have a turbocharger, you could go with the secondary of Havoc and Devotion, but that's only if you know how to play those guns up close, because they can be very difficult to get it down on lock. But if you're pretty decent, you know how to do it, you could definitely go with that. But if I'm being 100% honest here, you really don't want to be rocking double close range if you're struggling to gain RP in rank, because like I said, positioning is important, and with a long range gun, you want to get in your position and just try to get as many peaks and as much damage and maybe potential knocks from your good spot that you're in. Double close range just really doesn't allow that, and like I said, if you're struggling to get RP, you shouldn't be running around a ranked game just trying to W key everyone. But yeah, so as long as you have a long range and a gun that is good in short range, you should be chilling. So this isn't really like a tip or something you can do in game, it's just something to keep in mind just to get your headspace in a good zone, and that is, it's gonna take a while, especially for the more casual players, you know, the players not like me, the super sweats who don't play like 6 hours every day. It's gonna be baby steps, it's gonna be a slow climb. So if you don't see like huge RP gains in, you know, a couple days, don't get demotivated, because it's gonna take a while, and it's pretty hard. You might not get to where you want to be in the season, especially with how small the splits are, but as long as you just keep playing and improving, eventually those RP gains are going to come up. So just don't get demotivated from moving up super slow, because a lot of people say to me that they just don't like playing rank because it's just too hard to gain lots of RP. If you just keep practicing, keep going in, the RP gains will eventually start rolling in. So that's really all I have for you guys, because when you really look at it, what it really comes down to, it's just, you know, playing, positioning, getting in the good spot for endgame, and getting dubs, which is going to help you climb that ranked ladder. And it is a lot easier said than done. It might sound pretty simple because these tips, they're not too advanced, you know, they're pretty simple stuff, but it is really hard. And even myself, and I'm saying all the pro players still struggle with this stuff all the time, especially, you know, in ranked. If you make one small mistake, a lot of the times that's GG, it's over for you. But hopefully these tips do help, and you know, you go into ranked and you gain a little more RP than you did last time. But I hope they do help. If they did, or you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like button, comment down below, all that stuff, and that's it from your boy. I'll catch you all in the next one.
I want to look at the screen. I don't even have 1,000 damage. I'm so annoyed.
It's whatever. Content.
I'm cracked out of my fucking nug. I'm cracked.
Don't get revolted. You hate to see it.
That shit was a light work, baby. Come on.
I got fucking downed, like, look at that,
Oh,
bro.
say less.
Let's go.
Yeah, I think I got a couple kills nabbed for me, but it's okay.
I don't think he did. I think it's like a glitch.